Hey guys, Thogden here, and welcome back to a brand new video. Now today, we're going to be going through every Premier League club and ranking 10 players who we think will score the most goals this season in the Premier League.
Did you know, Theo, nobody scored more than 20 non-penalty goals last season?
Very interesting.
And only 7 players got more than 15.
I wonder how much of an impact VAR has on that. How many likes are we going for today?
14,000.
I don't know what it is about Thogdad, but he seems to never really understand how strong the TDL are. 18,000 likes. And let's start with the first club, which is, of course, Arsenal. Now, any contenders for your top 10, Thogdad?
Well, you've got to talk about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, haven't you,
What are you on about, Thog? No. We're in 2021, Dad.
Yeah,
and you're still speaking about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
Okay, well, in 2019, he won the award jointly with 2 other players. Surely you can't forget him, Theo.
Okay, maybe they sack Arteta and they bring in a manager that absolutely loves him and changes him. But since he signed to Ting, he's not been the same player. I can confirm he is not in my top 10.
He's not in my top 10 either. I think he'll sneak to maybe double figures, but he's lost a bit of his hunger, Theo. But Theo, what about Alexander Lacazette? Now, last season he was 9th in the Golden Boot race with 13 goals. That might surprise some people. Can he do it again?
Same sort of thing as Aubameyang. I reckon they'll both score around 10 to 12 goals, but they won't make the top 10 for me.
Aston Villa now, and Ollie Watkins was 8th in the rankings last season with 14 goals, but that man Danny Ings has arrived, isn't he, Theo?
Well, that's the thing, and Aston Villa can now turn Ollie Watkins into a bit more of a left winger. We saw that with parts of his Brentford career. He was a bit more of a creator, and he shifted over to the left side. And you know who I'm going to be mentioning, Dad, is my top goal scorer for Villa, and he's in my top 10 in the Premier League, Danny Ings. 5th place. He's going to score 18 goals this season. Hear me out. He's gone to a more attacking side at Aston Villa. He's got Ollie Watkins on the left of him. On the right of him, he might have Leon Bailey. Behind him, he's got creativity around him. He will score the goals and Villa will have an exciting season.
That is a very big shout, Theo. He got 12 goals last season for Southampton, but he missed 9 games. I agree, Theo. He's made a great start to the season. 2 goals in 2 games. He's going to score 17 this season. 5th place. We almost completely agree there, Theo.
I thought you might put Watkins ahead of Ings, but we agree.
Brentford now, and there's one man who scored 31 goals in the Championship last season.
Don't even mention his name, please. It almost puts me in tears, Thogdad. He's let me down on fantasy.
Do you know what? Ivan Toney, can he make the step up to the Premier League? I think he's going to do all right. And the higher up the pyramid he goes, the more goals he gets there.
Yeah, listen, he might score 10 to 12 goals this season, but after watching the first 2 games and seeing the state of him in my FPL team, I don't think he'll be in the top 10 Premier League goal scorers.
Brighton and Hove Albion and Neal Maupay was misfiring last season, 8 goals, but this season 2 goals in 2 games.
Dad,
can he win the Golden Boot?
I don't even want you to say his name, really. It actually kind of frustrates me because I had Neal Maupay in FPL last year.
You did.
And he let me down so many times. And I watched the first 2 game weeks and he scored in both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, what is going on with him? It's actually frustrating me. I had him in 10th place of top goal scorers, but I took him off because he makes me angry. He lost me points. So he's no longer in the top 10, but I actually think he might have a good year.
Wow, don't get Theo angry. You won't like him when he's angry. I think he's going to have a good year, but he's not going to make the top 10. I mean, he might score 12 to 14
Exactly,
goals.
yeah.
Burnley now. Chris Wood scored 12 last season, but he was almost top of the charts for big chances missed. Anyone from Burnley, Theo?
Not for me. I love watching Burnley. I think it's so funny. And they
Wait. You love watching Burnley. You just said
it's just bants, isn't it? Like against Liverpool, they go route 1. They get your big noggins on it. Jay Rodriguez on the bounce. I just think it's so 4-4-2. The whole team is English. It's like they play to the cards a bit. But you know what? Not top 10 for top goal scorers. Let's be real. They're not attacking enough.
And now for Chelsea, ROMELU Lukaku scores goals wherever he goes, whether it's Belgium, Inter Milan, Chelsea, Everton, Man United. It doesn't matter, does it, there?
Honestly, the guy is ridiculous. I'm going to put a statement out there right now. ROMELU Lukaku for Chelsea this season is going to score 30 goals. The guy's a joke. You watch him against Arsenal, Pablo Mari couldn't even handle him. He just had to accept that he was going to get the ball and turn him. He's just, honestly, Dad, he's like this. Yeah. He's in your face the whole time. And there's no striker like him right now in the Premier League. I love Harry Kane, but Lukaku's better in big games. He's number 1. He will win the Golden Boot. 30 goals.
That is a very big statement, Theo, but you know what? I'm just going to agree with you. 24 goals. I don't think he'll get 30. Now, the thing about 30 goals, Theo, it's only been done 8 times in Premier League history. So, 24 goals, golden boot to ROMELU Lukaku. He is the missing piece, and I've got to say, Chelsea looked magnificent this season. Crystal Palace, Wilfried Zaha got into double figures last season with 11. He'll probably do the same again, won't he, Theo?
Yeah, I think when Eze's around him and he's got Elise, he'll actually receive a bit more of an attacking threat because he has creativity. But as it stands, Palace aren't scoring much, just had a 0-0. He's not in my top 10, but I could definitely see him get double figures.
Yeah, he's a cracking player. I think he'll sneak into double figures, but not in the top 10. Everton now and DOMINIC Calvert-Lewin, 16 goals in 33 games last season. That's a goal every second game, and that's magnificent, Theo, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very good statistic. I think DCL, he's getting older. You know, he's now in the England squad. He's developing as a footballer. He had barely any assists last season. Do you think he can reach 20 goals? I know a lot of Toffees fans believe he can.
Yeah, well, I think Richarlison will get a few goals this season. We're not going to talk about him much. I've gone for 14 goals for DCL. He's not scored in his first 2 games.
Yeah.
Everton didn't really refresh much for me. Now, I know Andros Townsend can ping them in for DCL. He can head them in. But he's not a penalty taker. I've gone for 14.
You've got to believe in him. This guy, this season, is scoring 20 goals. You've heard it here first. DCL, you're getting 4th in Premier League top goal scorers, and you're just getting better every season. It's great because he's English, and I think, yeah, he's developing as a footballer.
That's a big statement, Theo. I've got him 9th, but nobody scored 20 non-penalty goals last season. I can't see him hit 20. Leeds United and Patrick Bamford was 4th last season with an amazing 17 goals, but he was also top of the big chances missed league.
When you're the striker of Leeds United, you're going to have chances. That you're in that position alone puts you in this top 10 because they have so much creativity in the Jack Harrisons and the Rafinhas, as we've seen in the midfield and fullbacks. I mean, the whole team, it's a real unit. I've got Bamford in 9th of top goal scorers. I think he'll score around 15 goals this season, but it's Leeds, so bags of assists as well, as we know.
Fair point. I think he'll score 12 or 13. I think Rodrigo's going to come in and get a few
Hold on.
more. He's outside my top 10.
Fuck that, he got 17 last year.
I know.
You think he's going down to 12?
Maybe I'm being harsh, and I hope he does well.
Wait, so he's not in your top 10?
He's not in my top 10.
Fuck that! We can change it, just tell me now. You got an 8th, 9th?
Time will tell. Leicester City now. Jamie Vardy won the Golden Boot in 2020, and last season he was 7th with 15 goals, but 8 of them were penalties, Theo.
Yeah.
And also he's starting to miss a lot of big chances. Has he lost it?
No, not at all. Jamie Vardy started the season brilliant. He won them one of the games against Wolves and did the Wolves celebration. Absolutely brilliant, if you ask me. But as we know, he is getting older.
Yeah.
Can he still score over 15 goals? I think so. I know they've got options with Kelechi Iheanacho. You've got the likes of James Maddison, Harvey Barnes. They're all want a piece of the cake. But Jamie Vardy's the penalty taker. He's the big boy. And I reckon this season he's going to score 16 goals, which puts him 8th in top goal scorers.
Wow, Theo, that is a big shout, and I tend to agree. Can he stay
Really?
fit? Because he's going to be 35 years old in January. He might miss a few games, but I reckon he's going to get 16 goals, 6th place.
Okay, we agree on the goals.
Liverpool now, and Mo Salah won the Golden Boot in 2018. He won it again in 2019, and last season he was the runner-up to Harry Kane.
Yeah.
He's got 98 Premier League goals. He's an absolute bagsman, isn't he, Theo?
I think he's brilliant, Thogdad, and you know, he just gets better every season. There were people on Twitter saying he was a one-season wonder when he first signed for Liverpool, scored loads of goals, but he's kept it up. And my God, we have him on FPL, and when we watch him, you just know when he's in the box, on the ball, he's gonna finesse it into the corner, the bottom corner usually. Mo Salah, this season, in my opinion, will score 25 goals.
Wow.
Which puts him 2nd place. He won't get the Golden Boot this year because of ROMELU, who's just incredible. But I think he'll have a good year.
And I think he'll be the runner-up, Theo, with 21 goals. Now, Sadio Mane was the joint winner in 2019, but last season he was misfiring only 11 goals. Can he get in the top 10, Theo?
He definitely can get in the top 10. I haven't put him there because of inconsistency, but honestly, he's got the talent, and if he has a better year and continues to score in big games like he's done in previous years, like Champions League finals and stuff, I think Sadio Mane can sneak in. For me, this season, 10 to 12 goals.
And Diogo Jota, Theo, 9 goals from 19 games last season. So I suppose the big question, will he play every week?
He won't because of Klopp roulette, which isn't really a thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, Firmino's going to get game time as well. Why have you mentioned Jota? I don't see him being in my top 10. Nowhere near.
Well, Theo, I've put him in my top 10. I think
What?
he's a real bagsman, yes. I think he'll score 14 goals. I think he'll be 9th equal in the top 10.
Dad, I don't know where you picked that out from. It's not happening. Move on.
Manchester City now, and last season, Ilkay Gundogan got 13 goals. He was 9th equal, Theo. But who's going to get the goals this season?
Well, I mean, it's Pep Roulette, right? So you might mention Jesus. I know, actually, you won't. You really dislike Gabriel Jesus. I reckon your top goal scorer for City will be... I don't even know. Who is it? Tell me.
I don't know either, Theo, because I reckon half a dozen players, Ferran Torres, the likes of Mahrez, Foden, they might get 8 to 10 goals.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to get in the top 10 this season, unless Harry Kane comes to City, but let's pretend he doesn't.
I think Raheem Sterling's going to sneak in there. After a great Euro season, I know Pep isn't too fond of giving him that much game time, and you know that's what you sign for City for. That's the downgrade that you get. You could play for one of the best clubs in the world, but you're not going to guarantee yourself a start. That's how it works, unless your name's Kevin De Bruyne, of course. But I think Raheem Sterling will sneak in there with 14 goals, which puts him 10th, but I'm just hoping he offers him enough time.
That is a very brave shout. Bruno Fernandes for Manchester United. He was 3rd in the rankings last season with 18 goals, of which half were from the penalty spot. How's he going to do this year, Theo?
He's not in my top 10.
No chance.
He's not in my top 10.
He scored a hat-trick on the opening day.
I forgot him.
No, you didn't. How can you forget Bruno?
I forgot Bruno. Dad, you know if I got in my top 10 for Man United?
Go on then.
Mason Greenwood.
Right, okay.
I think Mason Greenwood will be the Manchester United top goal scorer. I think Bruno's brilliant scoring goals, and he's a creator too. And I reckon he might get 15 goals, 15 assists, you know, and just get 30 contributions over the year. But I think Mason Greenwood could have an incredible season. If he gets regular game time in that centre-forward role, he will be fed enough opportunities to get into the top 10 top goal scorers. I predict this season Mason Greenwood will score 17 goals, which puts him in 6th place.
Wow, I think you've been smoking something, Theo, because Bruno Fernandes is going to score 20 goals. He's going to be 3rd in the rankings.
Dad.
Now, before I get to Mason Greenwood, Theo, Marcus Rashford, have you forgotten him? Has he got no chance of getting into the rankings?
Not right now. The injury, we don't even know how he's going to return. Not a great Euros, not for me this season.
Mason Greenwood, Theo, he's 19 years old. Do you think he's going to get enough game time? Obviously you do.
Obviously I do, because I've put him in 6th place with 17 goals. Where have you got him?
7th equal, Theo.
Wow.
I think he's going to score 15 goals. Now, he's got off to a good start, 2 goals in 2 games, and I think he's the real thing. He's going to be rested a little bit because of his age. But I agree with you, Theo. Newcastle United, Callum Wilson, can he get into the top 10, Theo? 12 goals last season.
He can do, but Newcastle, we need to see more from them. It hasn't looked great. They've been conceding way too many goals for their liking. I wish him the best. I think Callum Wilson's a great goal scorer, and he'll get the opportunities from the players like St. Maximan and Almiron. But for me, not in the top 10. You agree?
I agree, Theo. He was a great signing for 20 million, 10 to 12 goals again. Norwich, this is very easy. Nobody's going to score 10 goals.
Timo Pukki time though, Dad.
11 goals a couple of seasons ago.
Pukki party.
But it's not though, is it?
Okay, listen, you're mugging me off here. Norwich have had the hardest start. But when they get the easier games, he might sneak a 10.
He might sneak a 10. I think he might get 8, 9, 10, to be quite honest. But he's not going to get in the top 10 goal scorers.
Neither for me. Not the top 10.
Southampton, you've got Che Adams, you've got Adam Armstrong. But to be quite honest, neither of them for me is getting in the top 10.
Yeah, it's difficult to judge with Adam Armstrong. You know, he had that opportunity against United last minute. And if he scored that, I'd be thinking, this guy can sneak a goal a game from here and there. I don't think he'll get in the top 10. I think they could have a good season. He's linking up well with Che Adams. Southampton, you know, the most important thing for them as a club is they've extended Ward-Prowse's contract. So they're okay as a club, but no one to get in the top 10 goal scorers for me.
Che Adams, I like him, but he's a bit hit and miss. 9 goals last season. I reckon both him and Armstrong will get around 10 goals. Tottenham Hotspur, and we've got to talk about that man, Harry Kane. He's won the Golden Boot 3 times, and he's the 7th highest scorer in Premier League history. How's he going to do this season?
I'm going to be straight up with Harry Kane. I think it's time for him to get his head down.
Yeah.
Back at Tottenham Hotspur, get in that first team again, link up with Heung-min Son and the new signings, and start scoring goals. If Harry Kane does that, he needs to forget all this Manchester City transfer saga. He's there, he's here. Every week he feels like he's doing something different. It's gone on for too long and you haven't signed the deal. Get back at Tottenham. Go out there and score 23 goals this season because you know you're a player and you've got a club for you that loves you. The fans still adore you. It's time to knuckle down.
Absolutely. He scored 166 Premier League goals. Alan Shearer is way out in front with 260. He needs 5 good seasons to break that record. I hope he does. This season will be a tough one. We don't know where he's going. If he goes to City, there could be a lot of rotation. I'm saying 18 goals, 4th place.
I'm saying 23 goals.
Wow.
And I've got him in 3rd because I know how good Harry Kane is as a footballer. And listen, if he knuckles down at Spurs, he'll score that.
Heung-min's son, Theo, let's not forget him. He was fourth
absolutely.
last season with 17 goals. Only one of them was a penalty.
I think if Harry Kane was to leave,
Yeah.
he'd definitely be in there because he'd be the number 9 of Tottenham Hotspur. He'd be the main outlet. You know, we saw that goal against Manchester City. It won them the game. I can see him scoring around 14, 15 goals, but I've not put him in there. But I guess you disagree.
I disagree, Theo. Well, I think he'll score about 15 goals, and for me, that will make him 7th equal. He does rely a lot on that partnership with Harry Kane. Things are up in the air at the moment, but he's a magnificent player.
Definitely.
Watford now, and you've got Ismail Assar, Troy Deeney, Cucho Hernandez, Emmanuel Dennis. Are you going to put any of those in your top 10?
No. But I think Dennis and Sarr can score a decent amount.
Yeah.
Overall, I can't think of a standout. Can you?
I can't, sorry. I think those guys will score a few between them. We saw on the opening day, they can bag goals,
Definitely.
but no one in the top 10. West Ham United, Michail Antonio got 10 goals in 26 games last season.
Yeah.
And the question is, can he stay fit, Theo?
Yeah, I think Antonio could have an incredible season. After watching him against Newcastle, I just think this guy's a beast. This guy, you feed him the ball, he's got pace, he's got strength, and he's got the finish. He's got everything he needs to score up to 20 goals potentially.
Yeah.
I'm predicting 7th place in top goal scorers this season, 17 goals. How amazing would that be for West Ham?
It would be fantastic. I really rate West Ham. It's great to watch them at the moment, but the trouble with Antonio, he spends so much time in the treatment room.
Yeah.
I think he'll get into double figures, but I'm not putting him in the top 10 for that reason, Theo. And finally, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and we've got to talk about Raul Jimenez, because 2 seasons ago he got 17 goals and played in every game. Last season he had that horrific injury, Theo. How's he going to do this season?
Well, I'm going to give Wolves a little bit more time. They've got a new manager, a new system, different tactics, and they've lost their first 2 games, so it's actually difficult for me to call this.
Yeah.
He's not in my top 10 because of that. I think as a player himself, he can definitely score up to 17 goals again, but it just depends on the team around him. Do you agree?
Not really. I don't think he can do it again, and I think it's because of that horrendous injury. Imagine if it happened to you. You fractured your skull, bleeding on the brain. You have to play with this specially constructed headband, and it's going to be too difficult. I think he might get maybe 12 goals. And you know what? That would be bloody fantastic as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Right, and that is it. We've been through every Premier League club, talking about contention possibilities and our final top 10. Let us know what we've had a stinker about. Don't have a go at me about Bruno too much. It was a little bit of a, just believe Mason Greenwood. That's what you need to do. Smash the like button, 18,000 likes, and make sure you subscribe for more Premier League content. And by the way, a lot of you don't follow us on Instagram. Don't be a mug. His name is Thogdad. My name is Thogden. Get involved. Follow us. We might even do a follow back spree today. Should we do that?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Get over that.